Hello everyone, welcome back to Social Club Live for the final time this week. We've already discussed Neymar breaking the transfer market or not, and what it means for FFP and Phil Coutinho's future at Liverpool. Whether Arsenal winning the Community Shield sets them out in fine fettle for the approaching season. And now it's time to make some season predictions. Viz is here, as is Ped, of course. We want, and for people in the comments as well, we're going to be reading some out live. What things do you think will definitely happen this season? I'm going to kick it off with the most obvious of all of them. Arsenal are going to lose a game of football they expect to win right at the start of the season, and their fans will lose their collective shit.
It's time to go.
It's surely the Wenger out banners, I think, will come out before the end of August.
We shouldn't have gone to China. There were the shouts. Shouldn't have gone to China.
Actually, I think it'd be better this year for Arsenal because, like, last year there was the entire contract situation. Is he staying or is he going? So I think it'd be a lot more stable this year. Of course, some beats and meltdowns.
No, but now
it won't be as bad as last year.
Now there'll be more calls to sack him because last year they were just expecting him to leave amicably at the end of the season.
I think it's going to happen slightly differently to normal. I think they'll win the first game of the season because normally the first game of the season they lose, which is why I was rubbing my hands with glee that they played us last year. I think Lacazette will score the winning goal and they'll win 1-0 or 2-1 in the opening game, and everyone will be, this is it, we found it. Sanchez gets the assist or whatever, and then they'll lose the next game, and then I just don't see how we get through in August without Arsenal Fan TV being in everyone's timelines. I don't think it's possible. Ped, throw us one.
Vincent Kompany will be continually injured. and everyone will say, why didn't Man City win by a centre-back? They would have won the league if they'd bought a centre-back.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's absolute class. And you go, when he's fit, they're just a much better team.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Liam, what have we got?
Klopp's going to lose his glasses in a mental 90th minute winner celebration.
Klopp will over-celebrate something.
Get yellow cards, centre stands or something.
And someone will become
so we won't be
offended.
telling fans to be quiet?
Only if they sing a song.
Okay.
He fucking hates his song.
Does he, yeah?
So much.
Wait, what song's this?
He's got no, he just hates it. He doesn't like his name being sung. So he tells the fans to basically shut up and sing a song.
He's an odd fella, isn't he?
He is an odd fella.
He is odd, like. I mean, I'm not saying that's wrong.
Too fair.
I'm not saying that's wrong. It's not wrong to be odd. In fact, if you're different, celebrate being... Listen, I'm different, but in a good way. It's good to celebrate our differences. He's just a bit odd.
He's a bit odd. So yeah, keep some suggestions coming in the comments. Ross, have you got some for us?
Yeah, Brown Ninja 777 says John Stones making a defensive error.
That'll happen.
Absolutely nailed on. People will talk about what a great ball playing centre half he is before inevitably he switches off and someone scores. I think that's a pretty reasonable one. Go on, what else you got?
Rob Reed says Liverpool lose to a relegation threatened side after beating a top 4 side the week before.
Sorry about that last year, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I enjoyed that
Good
day,
for the fan
actually.
cams.
There was a belted one. Oh yeah, absolutely. There was a belted one from Brown in 777 as well. It says all of the top 6 managers being called frauds at some point over the season.
Yeah, pretty
But it
much.
started, I think, at our club.
Without a shadow of a doubt. So what do we think? Man City being handed the title after the first month of the season?
It's happened for the last 2 seasons, hasn't it?
Only for things to tail off.
Yeah.
Tail off slightly anymore?
The obvious debate of imagine if we had Twitter in the 80s when so and so was happening. That shout always gets thrown out. Harry Kane, he
slow start to the season.
Clearly isn't the striker we all believe him to be. You know, he's just been very lucky for the last 2 seasons.
So he doesn't score in his first 2 games. Everyone says, he was only what we on 3 season wonder at this point.
1 season, 2 now, 3 season wonder.
And then he just goes on a mad goal scorer run for the rest of the season. I could very much see that. Go on, Ross.
Moose City United said Mourinho fights Wenger in a tunnel.
Mourinho's going to say something stupid, probably.
There's definitely going to be. I could see them both calling each other frauds all season as they finish 5th and 6th. In a domestic campaign. What do you reckon? Who's Mourinho going to fall out with most this season?
Whoever his biggest rival is.
Guardiola.
Simple as that, isn't it?
So, but you reckon Guardiola?
I think Guardiola. I think it'd be probably both Manchester clubs proper challenge of a title this year. Maybe it's my prediction because I'm always wrong.
This is historically under Mourinho side the season where it goes right.
Yeah.
The second season.
Do you reckon that's the case this time around?
I think it is. I think they've signed well with Lukaku and everything else. Solid start.
As simple as that.
I think it is.
Yeah, good side. All coming together, isn't it? striker, Matic to help Pogba out. Pogba might turn up this season, I don't know.
Go on. Which newly promoted side is going to be absolutely... is going to do the Blackpool and be absolutely amazing when they hit the ground running?
Yeah.
Which go on, who are we having?
Brighton.
You think Brighton?
I'll probably say Brighton. I mean, did they lose 3-2? Let's go yesterday.
Prediction for you. One of the three promoted sides will start off very well, and their fans will go on Sky Sports News telling the world how it's all about, you know, we're going to get a European place. It happens every single... or they go on and go, what's the prediction for this season? This season, stay up. Then season after, start challenging for the European positions. Happens every single year.
As opposed to what genuinely happens is stay up, get relegated the season afterwards.
And that's literally just Burnley's like, kind of choice now.
So you're saying but you think that'll be Brighton?
I can imagine Brighton, yeah.
You're not throwing Newcastle into the
I'm not throwing Newcastle anyway.
They haven't signed anyone, Newcastle.
They haven't signed. They've got
But that might not be the worst thing in the world for Newcastle United. Keeping the squad they have together.
Because historically, teams that keep the team together do really well when they.
Some actually have done better than just going out and buying every Eastern European.
What did Burnley do last summer? Did you sign many?
I mean, I actually can't remember from last year, honestly. I actually can't remember anything.
Only gets worse when you
I
get
know,
older.
it's just
the Irish Euro squad, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, bit of Joey Barton.
Joey Barton. Actually, I do still love that man.
Who'd have bet
I still
on
love
that?
Joey Barton.
Ross, what you got?
A Singh says Arsenal fan TV meltdown after Liverpool game.
There is, like I say, I can't see a world where we don't see a major Arsenal fan TV meltdown inside the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season.
As long as they're all wearing justice for 96 stickers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, let's not get into that. We've been there. Let's not bring that back up again. From a Liverpool perspective, I think I absolutely nailed it on that Liverpool will probably put Watford to the sword, and there'll be one just game that we're absolutely utterly horrendous in, and then it'll be fine after that.
Mane scored a hat-trick first game of the season. Everyone's, it's our year, boys. It's our year.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
It's our year,
Liverpool
boys.
it being our year within the first month of the season, I think that's it.
That's guaranteed.
But then equally, Liverpool it being our year next year by January. Liverpool this next season by January. That's a solid one. Go on, Ross.
Stephen Dyer says Liverpool to be crowned league champions in November again by the media, only to finish 20 points off by May.
Or alternatively, Liverpool top at Christmas and then again fail continue to be the only club to be top at Christmas that don't win the league at the end of the season. Yeah. Okay. Which of the big striker signings will fail to live up to the hype? And let's say out of Lacazette, Morata and Lukaku.
Out of those three, everyone's jumping on Morata just because of yesterday. Just because of that penalty miss. Now he didn't really do well. I think it's a bit unfair to judge Morata just on yesterday, though. Out of those three, I think Morata may do the worst, but just because they've got Batshuayi.
It's unfair to judge him, but I'm going to judge him.
No, because they've got like Batshuayi already. I like Batshuayi. I think that he should be challenging for that number one spot up top of striker. So I think that out of those three, I think Morata probably... he won't be the main man there for me.
Go on, Pat.
Morata. I don't think Morata's even that good. Honestly, I don't. Lukaku scored 30 goals this season.
You think Lukaku?
Yeah, Lukaku scored 30 goals.
Absolutely. Even with in a Mourinho side.
Yeah, they'll play to his stance.
You think?
They'll put the ball in front of him. Don't have Lukaku facing that way. Have him facing that way. He'll score 30 goals this season, Lukaku. No problem. He'll still... prediction... People will still say how terrible his first touch is. Yeah. Obviously, because his first touch
well,
is...
the United fans have been,
been
saying that also.
I'm positive he'll score 30 goals this season. He's that good.
Okay, sound. Who do we think, in fact, if you can find some answers to this as well in a second, Ross, who do we think will pull out the deadline day signing shock of the window?
I mean, most like large teams are like already signed, haven't they?
There's always one. I mean, I know
maybe Tottenham.
West Ham.
West Ham. To pull us a Sissoko out.
They've got the form, haven't they? They've got the form. Those the Dildo brothers. They'll be
loving it.
Dying to bring someone in to get them from that 9th position to 8th position. they'll be going big guns.
Okay,
so it'd be Tottenham for me. They haven't signed anyone at all. The pressure should be coming up on them right now for Tottenham. definitely happening.
That's an interesting one. Go on, Ross, what have you got?
Stephen Dyer says big fat salmon to be had by a team in a relegation fight by February, keep them up and then quit in the summer.
Yes, absolutely. Comes back, I've had enough of a rest. He realises that he just doesn't like his wife or family as much as he thought he did when he spends time with them. And
They don't like him.
They don't like him.
As much as he thought he did.
Dad, would you go back to footy, will you?
Yeah, I could see him being back at Newcastle by January.
But Rafa Benitez is leaving.
Go on then.
Back to Spain.
Go on, let's have one more.
Someone else said True Geordies have a hernia, find out that Benitez has been sacked.
Who do you think's going to be the first manager to go?
Slaven Bilic.
Slaven Bilic.
Yeah, after he signs, whoever he signs.
Spends 40 million on deadline day and then loses every game in September.
Yeah, Bilic, definitely.
Okay.
Just going to miss a Sissoko, go to West
I just
Ham.
don't think there's any pressure on anyone else.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, listen, Conte's just lost the game.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
one
That's
game.
true. And he's wearing full trackies now. What's all that about?
Go
Wear
full
the full
trackie.
trackies. Last season you looked dead smart and you know.
He'll start to go bald again and he'll be in
Yeah.
the full trackie and you'll know that's time's up.
No, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
I actually don't know who.
Top six are all quite safe. I think.
Mark Hughes?
I still.
Is there any expectation on him though? That's the point,
I
isn't
mean,
it?
they've lost some Natovic, haven't they? I don't think.
I don't know with that. I don't know where Stoke are
Coleman's
going. I don't
Kevin
know what
Morales.
Stoke's direction.
I don't know where anyone's going.
I think they make a dread down a bit lower than what people expect them to be.
No one's made any major attempts to splash out in the bottom half of the table, apart from maybe Bournemouth. No one's really going mad for it because they just can't. They probably all realise they can't. There's no point going, we'll buy one £20 million player. Won't make that much of an effect. So
I do think that the transfer market is people are waiting just to see what happens a bit, to see whether you do need. I've been saying this for a while. It's only going to take Palace or someone spending 30 million on Sakho. You know, when a team that finishes in the bottom half goes and spends 25 to 30 million pounds on like a centre back, I think that'll make everyone go. And
new manager though, there isn't it? It's the Bournemouth.
Well, no, I don't necessarily. It might not be
No,
in
no.
this instance. Like, but someone's going to panic buy an expensive player in a position you're not meant to spend big money on, and it'll make every other club sit up and go.
Do you think
oh,
the
shit,
prices
that
will
was
go up or go down? Because I imagine they'll go down because those clubs will panic wanting to get rid of players as well, get them off the wages.
It depends. It depends. I just don't think clubs need to sell as much at the minute. So I think you will see it go up. I think you'll see what you might see is a few players not move and they'll move a little bit cheaper in January. Don't be shocked if no one bids for Sakho there, but does the same as last summer, something like that. You got a couple more for us, Ross?
Yeah, first off, there's about 7 or 8 people reckon that Mark Hughes will go first. And then FAK says, who do you think's got the best defence in the league?
Best defence.
Still Spurs, I think.
Newcastle.
City have massively improved by getting fullbacks that can actually.
That's usually City's issue. The defence. I think that's why I think they may go for a title this
Well,
year.
the thing is, though, it depends on where the goalkeeper settles in, and it depends on whether the fullbacks have got to blood themselves in as well, haven't they, to some extent. I just don't see Spurs being anywhere. I mean, I know they've lost Walker. It depends what the
Wembley.
the
Wembley
Wembley thing. Like,
Also, Trippier's have been injured as well, so they're main right back.
Man United.
No, I still fancy City, but I think Man United will push them closer. And also, whereas like Liverpool and Chelsea will be going into the Champions League and having to experience the stretch squad, Man United won the Europa League. Hello, you know what I mean? That's if you're gonna have a stretch squad, that's the tournament you need to get through. But saying that, it's a massive leap from 6th to 1st. But if you've got a goal scorer that you can rely on, a bit more from Pogba, they've bought a centre back, hold midfielder. Basically, got it all.
Filled all the holes.
They've got it all, haven't
like, yeah, absolutely. Look at the back end of the season then. The things that always happen again. Arsenal dying off early or putting together a mad run at the end. Arsenal for the FA Cup. Anyone?
FA Cup.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I think it'll be Man United this year for FA Cup. Usually it's always between like those Arsenal and Man United for cups usually.
Okay.
I don't think you can put predictions for FA Cup in though, can you? Till
Yeah.
at least
The third
Just
round.
wild guess,
yeah,
innit?
exactly. So
Actually, John Walters, one of the best bargains of the summer.
So there's the solid prediction. John Walters will 100% score against Liverpool.
Yeah.
If you were to be sensible, Liverpool to do the double over Everton, but I have a real sneaky suspicion because we've got a different colour kit this season. This might be your year. This would be horrendous.
definitely. Wayne to get the winner in the cup.
Oh no, the worst.
Not being funny, you could throw as many knockies as you wanted at him. You could throw knockies at me. It wouldn't wouldn't matter 1 inch to me.
That's right. Go on, Ross, couple more before we wrap up.
Yeah, A Singh says, oh, where's it gone? Sorry.
Oh, Ross.
I know.
One
Sorry.
job, it's
I had
find
it.
the
I know.
Stephen Dyer is
I know, he was
winning
on
the
form
comments
before.
today, isn't he?
Cheers.
Oh, he says, will Pep get the sack if he doesn't win a trophy this year?
Pep. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Pep.
No.
Nah,
Man
I
City
don't even want to
fans
get
think
sacked.
there's like an agenda against him, and I agree. I think everyone's desperate for Pep to get loads of criticism. I don't get it myself. I think as long as they challenge, I think they're all right.
Yeah, he won't get sacked if they don't win a trophy.
There's no natural successor.
That's a good.
Yeah,
point.
who can he get instead of Pep?
I think City are trying to build a dynasty without actually winning anything, but they are trying to build a dynasty that lasts for obviously more than 1 or 2 years. They don't want to be seen as Chelsea as well. I think they want to be seen as doing it right. So by keeping Pep, I think that will.
Would they ever be seen as doing it right though after all the the oil money and stuff like that? Would they ever be
Yeah, but
seen
that's
as
the point,
doing it
isn't
right?
it? That's why they've got to be seen as doing it right, not like
Oh,
Chelsea.
so they spent all that money. Now I'm going to try and play football the right way in a sense.
Well, I
Try
think
and use
City
money.
are doing it the right way though. You can't help having money.
Yeah, fair enough.
You can't decide not to spend the money that you've got.
They're
I
not-
think in terms of if you look at what the Etihad academy and all that, and the women's team and how they're doing at that, I think they are doing it the right way. They do want to bring youth through and help their community and all those kind of things. So I think they are doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to be the surprise package, one way or the other, good or bad? I would be interested. I think we didn't mention Huddersfield, but I think Huddersfield will surprise a few, and
Tick, Matt.
That's what I was thinking.
but no, I don't. I'm not sure they'll stay up, but I think they'll surprise a few people along the way. And I think we mentioned it a few times with the Wembley thing.
Yeah.
This should be. I think if Spurs had stayed put for another season at White Hart Lane, I think they'd be winning the league this season. But it's just such an unknown quantity being at that ground.
I think that's why they haven't gone mad on signings, if I'm honest. I think they've cut the losses for this season. I think we could be the surprise package, but on both sides. I generally believe that. Like we've bedding in half a new team, and we've got a really poor start, some big games, and you just think this could go either way. This, it really could. It really could. I think we've got a much better squad, but I don't know if we've got as good a team because we've took a 25 goal striker out of it. So yeah.
Prediction for Liverpool is we think we've got loads of squad depth. We have 4 injuries in the first 4 games, and we start with a bunch of 17-year-olds in September, and then things tail off a little bit.
Yeah.
Liam, what do you think for Burnley then?
I think 15th. I think that everyone, because Michael Keane's left, everyone thinks that, he's gone, so I think people taking us to go down pretty much. I think that one of our main players, for you guys for fantasy, Robbie Brady. He'll pull the strings, Robbie Brady. Love that man.
Does he actually get points in fantasy football, or is it just because you want to have a Burnley player in there?
Bit of both, actually. Bit of both.
Ross, one more.
Yep, Stephen Dyer says one of the things that we'll see this season is Belgian players to keep giving interviews saying they want to move when they're on international duty.
They've got nowhere left to move to, though.
Yeah. Here's one for you, one final one. Man United, Lukaku, all the money spent on Lukaku, all the money we said spent on defensive midfield, centre-back, strengthening that team, phenomenal attacking talent. We still see the Maro and Fellaini plan B with 15 minutes to go. Maro and Fellaini up front, nodding things in, and it's still working as well.
Very last one. And this is going to be awful. Players continually trying to outdo themselves with stupid celebrations where they do stupid high fives. Pogba and Lukaku are going to be pretty much hated by everyone very, very quickly as they do some kind of mad routine. Give me Mickey Quinn in the early 90s doing the dance with the Coventry.
The truffle shuffle.
Yeah.
Shuffle.
Ryan Giggs and Lee Sharp. Those are the days. No, these do like
He just dreams of it now.
I'm a lot older than
Spinny stuff, yeah.
No, I just watch a lot of Premier League years on the Premier League channel. That's where I saw that. Honest, I wasn't there living it.
You're
Didn't
dark,
see sumo.
Right,
that time.
okay. Keep the suggestion for things that will definitely happen this season. One of the things in the middle of the season and toward the back end as well. Keep them coming in the comments. We're going to wrap up. Social Club will be back next week, looking back on the first week of Premier League action. Check out the other 2 shows that we've done as well. Looking at Arsenal and the Charity Shield, as well as Chelsea, Phil Coutinho and Neymar in the transfer market. Don't forget, of course, if you're watching this after the fact, to subscribe to Toffee TV, to Vizzer, and to Mates TV as well. And, of course, subscribe to the Ball Street channel. 60,000 subscribers. It's there. You can be the one that makes it happen and make little wee James Alcott, who's currently dying of a hangover from a stag do, you can make him smile. So do that and do it right now. See you back here next week.